Okay, things are a bit different this time. I'm actually going to be reviewing a video game. Therefore, I better explain how I'm approaching level design. First, a disclaimer. I'm not a game designer at best. I've made some text games and made dungeons for various tabletop campaigns. I am looking at these stages from a player's perspective. Thus, the categories reflect that. Areas in games must be navigable. The player should never feel like they've been turned around by the level, though there can be some exceptions. Features are the more mechanical side of levels. What specific elements of the stage make it more unique from the others? Does it deal with ice physics, low gravity, or excessive rail grinding? Rewards are just that. What does the player get from playing through the stage or area? Is it worth what effort they put into it? Of course, the last section is the level's aesthetics. How does it stand out from the others while feeling part of the game? Does it immerse the player in the environment? Is the music any good? Do my eyes hurt from looking at this level? These are some of the questions I ask when evaluating levels. Alright, now let's get into Extremely Goofy Skateboarding. The game itself came out in 2001, believe it or not, for the PC. While some may remember it as a demo with a box of Kellogg's cereal, a full version with packed chicken nuggets, I managed to come across it during a school book fair of all places. The levels of the game are grouped in 4 sets, and you have to unlock them through either completing the shred sessions where you collect objects, or tech sessions where you do stunts and go through the stage to unlock levels. The first of the initial group is the beach stage, and it is sparse. The upper pier is almost wasted space. You could cut the stage in half and lose very little. The features aren't all that great either. There's a half pipe near one of the stage's exits, and there are a few opportunities to do some stunts that don't involve grinding along handrails. Thankfully, the reward is moving on to a better level. At least it doesn't look horrible. C. The second stage of the first group is what I can only describe as an indoor skate park. Getting around the place is much easier than the beach. It's far more compact than the majority of the stages, and it can be summarized as being 2 sizable rooms. This is one of the 2 levels that is dedicated solely to doing skateboard stunts, and it's great for that. It really shines in tech session, with just how many ramps, half-pipes, rails, and skate pits dot the stage. Like the other levels, it does reward you with the next stage. The aesthetic's okay, a bit too much red for my taste, but the music's great, so I'll give it a pass. B. The last stage of this group is another sparse one. It's the carnival. The draw distance really hampers how navigable the stage is, and it really makes shred session hard for people. The tech session, however, is stupidly easy, as you can grind on the train tracks that circuit through the area. I did like that you could grind on the roller coaster. I think that's the highest jump in the game. Sadly, you don't really get a reward for completing the stage. You just loop back to the beach. The major gripe I have about this stage is the music. Sure, it's hard rock like the rest of the game, but it's not carnival enough for me. C+. The city is not as sparse as the others mentioned before. However, I must complain about this damn elevator. It's so hard to land on that because of how imprecise the controls are. What's worse, this elevator leads to the few places where you can actually do stunts in this stage. Otherwise, you have to knock over fire hydrants to get some aid. The aesthetics are so-so, it's a city at night, the music's a tad grating. Grand total's a C+. A construction site. Oh, screw this stage. One of the worst levels in the game. 90% of the content is in the building, and it requires precision that the game doesn't quite have. It's super easy to fall off and mess up your progress. The layout hampers shred session, and the lack of good places to do stunts really mess up tech sessions too. The reward for this is just getting to go to a slightly better course. Not much reason to replay this level. The only remotely redeeming thing about this stage is the music, which is fine. Overall, C-. The Urban Park is another sparse stage, but it arranges itself nicely, at least. It has a fountain to do some high stunts off of, some handrails to grind on, and a playground. Like all third stages in the game, there is no reward for completing it. But what really separates the stage aesthetically is not so much that it's a park surrounded by buildings, it's the theme, which seems to be a reprisal of the main menu theme. Makes the stage seem like it was meant to be the game's iconic stage. B-. Oh god, the desert. I hate this level. It is so easy to get turned around here. Everything looks the same and it is absurdly large. There are next to no landmarks save for the gigantic ravine that I used to fall into whenever I undershot that jump. There are precisely 2 features that allow you to do stunts, those being thin strips of rock to grind on and the lips of the valleys in the desert. Thankfully, the next levels are far better. Also, the music gave me the creeps when I was a kid. C-. The western-looking town is the best in the game. It's the right size, it gives you opportunities to do stunts, the follow-up level's also a solid reward, and the music is... A-. Spike Stage. It may be the biggest level of the bunch, yet it's more navigable than the others. This is due to there being 2 large rails that circle the level. These rails trivialize tech section. Plus, there are plenty of quarter pipes that dot the level, though I have heard you can fall off them. Sadly, there is no good reward for finishing the 3rd level of each set, so that aspect suffers. Though I do like the spike aesthetics, so it gets a B+ in total. Next is the suburbs, and it's probably one of the more solid courses. It's very easy to navigate in both session modes. Plus, it has no shortage of areas to do stunts. Like the starting stages, the reward is the same. To me, this seems to be the game's iconic level. Not just because it's on the Idle demo, but the theme song is very catchy and upbeat, which fits with the sunny environment and the overall tone of the game. That said, I'll give it a B. The forest is the mid-level of the final set. It's actually not as big as the others, but it's still large. It generally consists of 3 areas with a river running through it. There's the park section where you start, the forest, and the mountain. The features are a bit limited based on what area you're in. The river is mainly just a very steep half-pipe. The park section is more or less grind city, and the forest is basically just there for shred session. And the mountain has a ramp that is somewhat hard to land a trick off of. There is only 1 stage after this, but it's a good stage, and so the reward is alright. The music's actually relaxed in comparison to the rest of the game, so it does give a summer vacation vibe off. It's alright. B. Lastly is the Gray Skate Park. Solid level, easy to get around, chock full of things to do stunts on, more so than the Red Skate Park. As before, there are no rewards for completing sets, so that bites. Oh well, the music's fitting and it looks grounded like the rest of the set. All things considered, this one's a B+. And that's it for Extremely Goofy Skateboarding. It's a strange game that's a lot more underwhelming than one would think. Next time on Design Dungeon. Power Rangers!